Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the books that I plan on reading in February. And there are quite a few books on my list from a lot of book clubs I'd love to join, along with reading challenges. I believe I have 10 books on this list, and I may not get to all of them, but I'm going to try. Let's start with the book clubs. First, for the Spine Breakers book club, hosted by Brad Proctor, we are going to be reading one I'm very excited for, and that is No Gods for Drowning by Hailey Piper. And Hailey Piper is a must-read author of mine. I've loved everything I've read from her so far, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be listening to the audiobook. And also, another audiobook I hope to read is Blindsight by Peter Watts, because that is the pick for New World's SF book club. Started by the Bookish Bryants, with a lot of great people involved chatting about science fiction books. So that is another audiobook I'm hoping to get to in February. Let's see, do I have any other audiobooks? I do. Oh, I have so many audiobooks this month for book clubs. Okay, so the next one is for the Horror Spotlight Read Along, and for that club we are reading All the White Spaces by Wilkes. And the last audiobook I'm going to be listening to is Desperation by Stephen King, which is for the Stephen King read along, hosted by Fiber Artsy. I also have 2 e-arcs that I'll be reading in February. The first one, hopefully I'll have quite a bit of progress done with it by the end of January, because it comes out February 14th. So hopefully I'll have most of it read, but probably be finishing up The Tyranny of Faith by Richard Swan, which is book 2 in the Empire of the Wolf series. And these are really great. It's a really great fantasy story with a mystery at its heart. They're mystery novels set in a really interesting world. The only other e-arc that I'll be reading in February is one I'm super excited for. It's an anthology called Black Cranes, Tales of Unquiet Women, and it's by a whole bunch of Southeast Asian horror writers. So it's a horror anthology highlighting Asian authors, and I think that's great. It is edited by Lee Murray and Geneve Flynn, and it comes out March 23rd. And I believe this one has already been released in 2020, something like that, and this might be like a re-release or like a special edition hardback type of thing. I'm not really sure, but I am super excited to read it and let you know if you should read it too. And now, all of the physical books that I'm going to be reading. There are 6 of them. First, a big, honking, huge book for the Midnight Book Society, hosted by Simon Slashers. We'll be reading Swan Song by Robert R. McCammon. This is a book that I have wanted to read forever. Just so happens this happened to be one of my 40 books to read before I'm 40. So that is double reason to read this now. No more putting it off because of its size. I have heard so many great things about this apocalyptic novel, and I get to experience the epicness for myself. And the last book club, it's the Creepy Book Club, hosted by Nightmare Maven, and February's book is White Horse by Erica T. Wurth, which I got in my Nightworms package, and sounds fantastic. Indigenous story about a woman being haunted by her mother and her mother's past through a necklace, I believe. Bracelet. Yes, a haunted bracelet. Sounds great. Now for a couple of events going on. The first is the Buzzword Reading Challenge, and February's prompt is titles with verbs in them. And I have two that I'm going to focus on. And that's Book of Poetry, Choking Back the Devil by Donna Lynch. Heard great things about this poetry collection. Horror poetry. It's right up my alley. And then We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver. This is also a 40 books to read before I'm 40, about a mother who's very worried about her son, Kevin. There might be something very wrong with him. Can't wait to read that. And then there is a readathon that I'm going to read a couple of short books for. And that is Folklore February, hosted by Kat's Novel Adventures. I will have Kat's announcement video linked down below. There is a great graphic and lots of prompts, and I'm not sure how my books fit into those prompts. It definitely doesn't cover all of them, but I do have a couple of things to read in the spirit of folklore. And this readathon is focusing on fairy tales, fables, and folklore. So, folk tales. So I'm going to be reading a fairy tale retelling, nice short one, called A Spindle Splintered by Alix E. Harrow. And this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. Never read a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I don't think I've heard of any. I'm sure they're out there, but Sleeping Beauty is a story that I really enjoy, so I'm looking forward to this. And then I have a horror story that happens to have a spirit from Japanese folklore. So there's a lot of Japanese folklore in this book. Nice short little story. Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw. I've heard mixed things about this, but I am looking forward to seeing how she mixes the folklore into this ghost story centered around a wedding. Those are all the books that I am planning to read in February. Have you read any of these books, and what did you think of them? And I will be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.